Hey, twin. Welcome back to the Beautiful Twin Sister podcast.
Oh, my
Beautiful twin sisters.
Beautiful twin sisters.
beautiful twin sisters.
Hi, guys. It is currently 1:39 a.m. Love that. And I think we're missing my co-host. So yeah, it's just going to be me. Hi, I'm Ashley. And today I will be the singular co-host of the Beautiful Twin Sisters podcast. Based on the name, you might be able to infer we are missing my co-host Amber Alexander, my lovely sister. She's currently on a trip with her boyfriend. And then she texts me, you got to do the podcast alone this week. Okay, girl, I got you. Anyways, today we have a lot to catch up on, guys. Now that our podcasts are bi-weekly, obviously, I feel like I have a little bit more to talk about every single time. I just have a lot of life updates, if I'm being honest. So we're going to kind of get through those and also maybe even talk about existentially being alive. We're going to talk about all your questions. We're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of it. Let's get to know each other on a deeper level right now. I think that's going to be the goal of today's podcast. So recently I was on a call and I was talking about what's most important to me when it comes to doing social media as my job. And of course, the first thing that comes to mind is my community. And so I was just kind of talking through it like, yeah, I literally have the best community in the world. Gave some examples where you guys literally rock. The Nami pop-ups that we've had, literally we have had like 3-4 security guards just to be safe. And every time I'm like, wow, do we even need these guys? Because you guys are so polite. Everyone is so kind. Everybody is so amazing. And really at the core of me doing anything is my community. And when I'm on my podcast, just getting to like connect with you guys is one of the most important things to me in the entire world. It's kind of where I can just be real, be myself. It's not like a normal YouTube video where I kind of feel like I have to keep things exciting and I have to like play into people's attention spans and, you know, keep things a little bit more quick and not be boring. On the podcast, I can be boring. Obviously, I don't want to be boring, but you know what I mean? Like I can have a more long-winded conversation and you guys are here for it. And that's why I freaking love you. So when I was on that call, I was just kind of reminded, like, I love having these heart-to-hearts with you guys. And on the podcast, of course, a lot of times we do updates, things like that, but we don't necessarily have like a heart-to-heart. So this is my heart-to-heart moment with you guys where we're really checking in on each other. So just to give kind of like a basis of what's going on in my life right now, obviously Amber's not home, but at the same time, my boyfriend Kelly is also not home. So if you follow him on Instagram, you might have noticed recently that he is doing a lap around the entire world with no money, okay? Literally, he's insane. So he told me about this idea earlier this year. I was like, okay, amazing. I didn't know if he was actually going to follow through with it. Fast forward to now, okay, he is following through with it. And that's one thing that I love about him is that he has an idea and he literally does it. And I mean, we were talking about the idea and it's like, when in anyone's life, honestly, is it ever possible to be like, hey, I'm going to go do a lap around the world, like have an amazing adventure. Like, I feel like it's just such a rare thing to be able to do. And he was like, I love that I have a job where I'm able to do this. I really want to make the most of my life and go out there and do what excites, okay? So he's out there doing that right now, meaning that I am by myself and I am kind of like solitary confinement over here. At the same time, I feel like I kind of needed it because I have obviously so freaking much work to do all the time. So on top of my YouTube job that I have, honestly, it's felt like I've always had this job. I almost cannot even remember me not doing YouTube as my job. But obviously I only started YouTube in 2018, 2025 now. So we've had quite a few years of me doing YouTube, but it's not the majority of my life or anything like that. It's just a fraction of my life that I've been doing YouTube. I totally lost my train of thought. Hey guys, I really have significant TikTok brain rot and it's actually turning my brain to mush and it's so bad. But at the same time, I do feel like I learn a lot of stuff on TikTok, but I actually have an addiction where like that, yeah, that's the first thing I'm like going on my phone, and I'm like swiping, and like sometimes I'm like trying to listen to music. I'm like, yeah, it's not hitting for me. Like I need to scroll on TikTok. It's really bad. So goal of the year, get off of TikTok like that. I think it's good to like scroll a little bit. Like I like going on there. I like to like see the trends. I like to be informed. I like to see what my friends are up to, but I don't like when I'm like scrolling through literally nonsense, or like if I'm scrolling for like longer than 15 minutes. Like you literally don't need to scroll for that long to like get the gist of it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me having been out of school for a long time, but yeah, my brain is longing for something more intellectual, I fear. Anyways, back to what I was saying, which I forgot what I was saying due to my brain rot. Let me sit here for a second and think about what I was saying. Okay, not me getting incredibly off track. Today, like literally at 11 p.m., because I'm crazy and I'm like, let's go get ice cream at 11 p.m. with some of my friends, walking to the ice cream place. I get there, I'm like, what the literally, they're not here. Like, I thought they got here 10 minutes earlier than me. I'm looking around over here. They are not here. Like, I'm looking in the window. I'm making eye contact with everybody that's in this ice cream place. I'm looking at the benches where people are sitting outside. They're not there. I start FaceTiming my friend, being like, yo, did you accidentally, like, go to the same, like, name of ice cream place, but, like, in a different location? So I'm calling them up. Out of one of my ears, I hear someone be like, what is she doing? And I'm thinking, yeah, what am I doing? Mid FaceTime, like I'm literally have it like it's ringing. I turn, my friends are sitting on the benches. Guys, I literally like looked straight at them. I'm like, yup, they're not here. And then they're like, yeah, you got some brain rot, bro. So I think it is reversible, and we're gonna continue to work on that. Okay, I kind of remember what I was saying now. I have a lot of work due to me having multiple jobs. I've had YouTube as a job for a long time. It has been my full-time job for a long time. Somehow in between me having my multiple jobs, what do I spend my extra time doing? Yeah, it's going on literally any form of short form media, shorts, IG Reels, TikTok, doesn't matter. If it's swipeable, then I'm watching it. And it's bad. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, and I actually applaud you right now for listening to the podcast, because this is literally so good for your brain. Yep, listen to every single BTSP podcast, because honestly, this is way better than scrolling on TikTok. If you're scrolling on TikTok while watching this, that's on another level. And you know what? You do you. If you are doing that, comment that, because I would love to know, because that would be really freaking funny if you're like watching this on your phone, or not on your phone, on like your laptop or something, and then like doing TikToks on your phone, because I've definitely done stuff like that before, and I just want to be real. And yeah, I feel like everyone kind of does that. Like within our generation, the attention span is so low. I do struggle a lot of times to like really pay attention to something for a long time. But at the same time, I still do listen to a lot of podcasts. Like I love reading a book if I have time. I love watching movies or shows. It's actually crazy that even now watching a show is better on your brain, literally, than consistently scrolling through short form media. So hack, watch Netflix, don't go on your phone. Also better for your vision if it's further away. Okay, kind of going back again. Sorry guys, keep going off on different tangents. Back to the job thing. So YouTube for me has always been a full-time job, always taken up literally so much time out of my life. But at the same time, it has been manageable with other things. For example, I did YouTube throughout my entire college career, posting honestly 2-3 times a week while being in college. And my college experience, it wasn't like easy classes. I felt like it was very STEM based, where like I'm taking 5-6 courses a semester, and it's like calc, chem, physics, bio, microbio, neuroscience, like those types of classes. And somehow, I literally sometimes think back to me in college, I'm like, how the fuck did I actually manage any of that at the same time? I literally don't know. Obviously, I have a business now that I'm managing alongside my YouTube, which maybe to a certain extent is higher stakes, because it's like I am very monetarily involved. Like my livelihood is kind of involved with that. versus college, like I guess you can like fail a class and like that can affect you monetarily if you have to like retake the class, but it's not like I feel like it's slightly different to my business, but still I feel like doing homework and stuff, like that's crazy because that's like homework. And then okay, on both levels, I actually think if I failed the class, like I would feel way worse than if I lost money, because I think that's just like a ego thing in me where I'm like, I need to do well on tests, and it's like deeply ingrained into like my psyche, which is insane. Like I would I would rather lose money than get a bad grade, which is wild. I don't know how I balanced those classes with me doing YouTube, but somehow I did. And sometimes this is really bad. I would literally sit in lecture. Like I remember sitting in my microbiome class. I'm editing a video during that class because I'm a crazy mofo. My computer, like, it cannot handle my editing software at the time because I didn't really have like the best laptop. It's not like maxed out or anything. I have like the lowest grade of like MacBook Air or something at the time. And I'm editing probably a huge ass file, not even on an external hard drive, like directly within my laptop. And the fan is going off like hella loud. I got my headphones in, so I probably barely even notice more than the other people around me. But I feel like the other people around me be like, what is this girl doing on her laptop right now? And the fact was that I was editing a video. And then later, and you know what my biggest college advice is actually pay attention in class, guys, because it will save you a lot of time later. So I feel like I had a little phase where I was like, oh my God, I really need to edit videos. Mind you, I deadass probably had 500 subscribers and I'm like treating this like my full-time job. Like I was dedicated, and I think that's why I am where I am today, because low-key delulu, but I had a vision, okay? I am treating it like this is like life or death, even though to a certain extent, no one was watching. I say in air quotes because there were people obviously watching. But I think people, I feel like on TikTok will be like, if you get like 200 views, they'll be like, that's literally no views or something. Or like, I'm stuck in the 200 view, whatever. And I was definitely stuck in that on YouTube, but I am still treating that like my full-time job, and you got to push through. And that's the reality of getting anywhere and doing anything in life, right? If you pay attention in class, like literally like actively write notes, which is what I did throughout all of my college career for the most part, except for the few times where I was editing in my class, which I maybe was more than a few times. If you pay attention in class, write your notes in class, you're active in class, you're not shopping on your laptop in class, you're not thinking about what's coming after the class while you're in class. If you are actively learning in your class, you can pretty much just like, okay, this sounds so stupid and basic. If you pay attention in class, learn everything in the class, pay attention to what the teacher's saying in class, and like actually focus for once. When it comes to studying and learning and doing things for the test and doing your homework, like it all will make sense, and then it will make taking the test easier. It will make doing your homework easier. It will make your college experience easier if you pay attention when your teacher is explaining things to you, rather than like not paying attention in class, having to figure out the notes later, trying to figure out how to do your homework later, and like scrounging around trying to find a way to do your homework, whatever, without like really knowing what's going on. I think actually kind of takes longer almost in the long run. And I think at the end of the day, like the reason you're in college is to learn stuff, right? Like you're paying a lot of money most of the time to get an education, and you're just gonna like sit in class and go shopping. No, pay attention in your class, take some notes, take some handwritten notes. That's at least what worked for me, was handwritten notes. That's what I always did. Before a test, I would rewrite all of my notes. Doesn't matter if it took me 8 hours to rewrite all my notes. That was my method of studying. I would rewrite all of my notes. And it would take me like at least 1 to 2 days sometimes, depending on the class or the subject. But that's what helped me. And also helps you retain generally some information going forward. Obviously, I think there's certain things where I'm like, wow, I would really love to take another calculus class and check how much do I really remember of this? Can I still do this anymore? And just kind of like get the little brain waves moving in my brain, exercising my brain, things like that, I think would just be good for me. And, doing stuff like that is actually healthy for your brain. Doing puzzles is healthy for your brain. It can help prevent neurodegenerative disease later in your life. Same with what you eat, which I talked about on my past podcast, the Extra Dynamic podcast. Did a whole podcast on the microbiome, the gut microbiome, the brain-gut axis, like it all is affected. So it's pretty crazy. And I think the health of your brain is also very important. Speaking of my jobs, let's reel it back in, guys. I am really good about not reeling things in, but I hope you guys don't really mind. I actually really like when people talk on different tangents as long as they still bring it back to what they're talking about. So the thing going on in my life is, or at least the main thing going on in my life right now, is that I do not have the best work-life balance. And I think a lot of you guys can see that because I'm always traveling. I am never here in New York. I'm always like upstate, or I am out of the country, or just like doing something random. What is Ashley doing on the day-to-day? It's doing something random. Someone asked, like, what's a typical day in your life? It's like, I literally don't know. The work-life balance has not really been there, but to a certain extent, I freaking love working hard on things. So I actually really love constantly having things to do. I think it's like kind of an older sister mentality, but that's what makes me feel purposeful in my life, right? Is like, I have things to do. I have people that are relying on me. I like that. I like having responsibility because that gives me purpose in my life. And I think maybe not everyone is like that. Not everybody necessarily wants to have responsibilities, but I really like to have responsibilities to a certain extent, right? So, let me lean back. This is very comfortable, but I didn't even mention, if you're a visual listener right now, we're sitting in my bed for the very first time for a podcast, but I thought that it was very suiting for a solo podcast, right? Because I could do it on the couch, but then this is my literal room. I want to bring you guys into my life, okay? I want to feel comfortable. We are literally having a little sleepover conversation right now. The other thing, because I was kind of talking about how I am in solitary confinement right now, which I broke, obviously, because I did go out and see some of my friends, which was amazing. But I like being able to do my work at home right now without me feeling bad like I'm ignoring someone, because I've been feeling like I actually have so much work that I'm like low-key ignoring people. Like even, I feel like I'm not the best about reaching out to my friends right now. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm kind of taking this back because I did get dinner with my college friends last night. And I think to a certain extent, it's because I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone right now. Where did everyone go? I'm like, hey, okay, let's take this opportunity, go see my college friends that I haven't seen in a year and go get dinner. Like, that's amazing. Prior to this, I've been feeling like I'm kind of accidentally ignoring people. And I think that's because, if you have like a triangle of maybe your social life, your work, your relationship, and they're like, choose two, you can only have two. My social life is usually the one that's always taking the hit, which is why I think I was able to balance my course load and doing YouTube when I was in college, is because when I was in college, I was not going out in college. I maybe went to like 2 or 3 parties, maybe. Towards the end of it, I was coming around. Like, I rushed a sorority. I did volleyball club. I did PAL, like the Filipino club there with some of my friends. And I feel like that's when I was like, oh, I'm really finally meeting more people. COVID happens. So that's that. And COVID, I guess, also really allowed me to focus on my craft, because what else am I going to do? It's literally COVID and I am stuck inside. So that was unfortunate. Anyways, generally all of my success, I would say, has been at the expense of my social life, which I am personally more okay with because I have such a strong familial unit. I have friends. Also, I have longtime childhood friends that I feel like I can always count on to be my friend and to be able to talk to whenever and never have any like weirdness between us, no matter how long it's been since we've seen each other. I feel like those friendships are the best, and they've allowed me in my adult life to also be more comfortable with, I guess, prioritizing my career, which is crazy. It's crazy for me to be like, yeah, I prioritize my career. Because I feel like I'm the type of person where like, I'm always like family first, relationship first. If I had kids, then I'm like, the kids come first. But I do, to a certain extent, of course, prioritize my career because I'm at that kind of stage in my life, I guess, right? But yeah, I'm super lucky to have siblings that are like built-in best friends, living with my sister, obviously, like best friend in the entire world. And I think just like the comfort of having friends like that has allowed me, again, to just like chill. And I'm not like worried about necessarily like losing friendships or things like that, because I feel very secure with the friends that I have. And obviously I've made tons of new friends over the year. It's not like my social life is like crazy bad or something, but I just feel like I have really good, strong friendships that I can like rely on. Like even my more new friends that I've met in New York City, for example, that I've had for like the last few years, those are people that are like literally my best friends that I can always count on and rely on and not worry about like the friendship, I guess. Like I'm not like, if we don't hang out for a while or I don't text them or like initiate something for like a few weeks, I think we're all just kind of chilling and everybody understands. And I really love that about my friends. And obviously I still want to initiate things. So like, I feel like it's very equal. Like if we initiate something, they initiate something, I'm not trying to be a bad friend or anything. And I'm very aware of that. But I just think, yeah, having chill friends that don't like make me feel bad for not hanging out with them or guilt me into like being like, we need to go to the bar or the club. Like I don't have friends that are like, you need to go out clubbing or something when it's not something that I enjoy literally at all. So I'm very happy with my friendships that I have in my adult life. And I think when I first moved to New York, I literally was like, holy shit, what's going on? And I think my college experience, due to me going to multiple different colleges, made it really hard for me to kind of make friends and like have a friend group, because how many colleges did I go to? 3. Yeah. One semester I did at George Washington University. Then I was like, literally can't handle this place. It was way too city-like for me, coming from suburbia initially. Now, obviously, New York City, I'm chilling. At the time when I went to DC, I just felt like I was so young when I went to college. Like I was 17 as a freshman. I feel like all throughout high school, like I was prepping for college. And then once it was time to go to college, I was like, what the fuck is even this? Like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even feel like being here. I don't feel like making new friends. I was so happy with the friends like I already had in high school. I was like, are you kidding me? And like now we're all split up. This is the worst. So I feel like going into college, I was just not prepared. Like I could have used a gap year or something. I don't know. Anyways, it all happened for a reason. After my first semester, I'm transferring. Transfer to a school close to home called RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Yes, and while I'm there, I am pre-med. Okay, so I'm thinking, yep, after this, I'm taking the MCAT. I'm probably going to be an ophthalmologist or something. Maybe I was thinking ophthalmologist, maybe a radiologist, probably dermatologist, okay? Because that sounded the most fire to me. So that was kind of my vibe, and that's what I'm thinking that I'm going to do the whole time that I'm in college, nearly the whole time that I'm in college, literally like 3 years of my college experience. I am thinking that I am going to do something of that sort, right? Okay, so that's why you guys might be like, didn't you graduate from business school, bitch? I know that shit was easy. I'm sure that some of you guys are thinking that. You know what? Give the business students some credit. I feel like business can be a hard major, not as hard as other majors, I will say, but it's still college at the end of the day, right? And I guess it kind of depends what you're doing in the business school. I'm sure there's some concentrations that are maybe easier than others. I do not know. Actually, I kind of know. So that's the reason I had a very varied college educational experience, right? Because despite me graduating with a business degree, I really only maybe did a year and a half of actual like business studies, because I switched to business so late in my college career. And it is surprising that I was able to do that switch, right? And graduate on time. Might seem questionable, but due to me going to a very STEM-based school, as you can tell, it's Polytechnic Institute, a lot of the classes that I needed for my business degree, I ended up also just somehow taking throughout my pre-med track. So like a lot of my calculus classes counted towards my business degree, physics classes counted, anything that's kind of like math involved counted. So that was very helpful since I actually took a shit ton of math classes, and they made me even take coding, bro. They made me take CS. Me when I call CS coding, that's funny. They made me take CS. Are you serious? The CS, that one was actually a prerequisite for just doing the business major, right? So I don't really feel like most business schools make you take CS. However, they made us take CS because they didn't really offer marketing or any of like the funsy concentrations that I wanted to do. It was data analytics, okay? And I actually graduated with business administration, but I swear to God, half my classes were data analytics and the other half was maybe business administration. So once I was in the business side of things, it was a lot of like Excel spreadsheets, a lot of math. I took a fair amount of like accounting and things like that. I took one marketing class throughout my entire college span. One singular marketing class. And that's like actually what I wanted to focus on, because that's what I felt like would be most helpful for me as someone that's on social media. I took one marketing class. That's the amount that I got to take. So that's amazing. And then the rest were administrational, bro, is that a word? That type of stuff, which actually I do think has come into handy a lot now, because as a social media person, right? I think a lot of people don't think of social media personas as necessarily being like leaders or bosses, but a lot of social media people, especially nowadays, like are managing a team of multiple people, such as myself. And we have employees and people that count on us. And you do have to learn to be a leader, right? So I took a lot of classes about leadership, which was really helpful. A lot of classes specifically on HR, which is actually very helpful to me now, especially as someone that has my own business, right? Nami. So kind of having that understanding of also supply chain organization, took classes for that as well. Like that's very helpful. Any of the HR classes are very helpful because they help me learn about what can you ask and not ask during the interview process? What are all these things that you need to have set up within your business to ensure that it runs smoothly? How are different ways that you can like move employees vertically and horizontally? All this random stuff that now as a business owner is very helpful. And as a CEO is very helpful for me to know. So I'm actually very grateful to have taken those administrative classes. Actually, I feel like those have been the most helpful to me with my current career, which is amazing. But yeah, very varied education. And actually, I really like that I was able to have a varied education, because getting to take classes of all different kinds, I feel like it's just really fun and very interesting. And despite me maybe doing business nowadays, I do still have such an interest in like biology and physics and things like that. Specifically physics, I really love. And in high school, I freaking love physics. I got the physics award. I was the only person to get 100 on our physics standardized testing. Let's go. Me when I hella flex. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to do that on you guys. But I literally just like really liked physics. And it was the same thing where I feel like in physics, I locked in. I'm paying attention in that class, and once I'm paying attention, it came to me like that. And I feel like I really genuinely understood it. And I loved just like the concept of it, right? So it's just so interesting to me. And I really, really loved taking it, especially in high school. And then once I was taking it in college, honestly, it kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, the math is really starting to hurt my brain. But I also really liked taking it in college. It was a little bit repetitive from my high school class, actually. So I kind of was like, okay. But I really still enjoyed taking it in college and being able to kind of, further my education a little bit more than I had learned in high school even. And so that was really cool. I think I actually took physics 1 and 2, and definitely physics 2. I was like, oh, this is starting to get a little hard and confusing. Sometimes there's certain things where I'm like, yeah, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that. I can try, but it's a little bit hard on me. Yes, the only thing I didn't take in college was orgo. I was like, you know what? I kind of had a feeling in the back of my head that I was not going to take the MCAT eventually. And I was like, I'm going to spare myself of orgo. Why would I take that? Because chemistry was not like my number one most favorite thing. I took AP Chem in high school. And I remember I really liked it at first, but then towards the end of the year, given I was a senior when I took AP Chem, I think I was like, oh my God, I'm giving up right now. I literally can't do this. So then when I took Chem in college, I think the vibe just hit me back. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to take orgo right now. So I pushed it off and then actually never took it because I obviously switched to business. So not me giving a whole spiel about my entire college career, but it has shaped like who I am today and my choices now. And to a certain extent, I haven't really felt spread thin. I know the question I get a lot is like, do you feel like you don't have the bandwidth to do anything now? Or do you feel like you're going to burn out? And I think luckily I am someone that's not super susceptible to burnout. I think I maybe have days of burnout, but like I don't have a week or an extended time period. And I love the energy of keeping going. So yeah, your bitch is literally... This bitch, not your bitch, but this bitch is literally insane, I guess, at the end of the day. But I just, I love the vibe of working towards something. I think it's so amazing. And I love something that I guess kind of keeps me going is like, would you rather have the pain or the regret of not doing something? Or would you have like the pain of progress? I'm sure there's a much more eloquent quote that I'm butchering right now, but you get the vibe of what I'm saying. I think the pain of progress is obviously pain, but it pays off in a better way than regretting like not doing anything. And got to have that fearless mindset. Be cringe, make mistakes, fail. You can get bad grades and you can always like try again the next time. Like it literally doesn't matter. I remember one time I took a calc class and I literally, oh my God, I don't even remember what the name of the class was. It was some type of calculus class. I get there, I'm like doing the work. I'm like, oh, for some reason, this is not hitting right now. Oh, it's not hitting. And get to the first test. I think I got like a freaking D on the first test or something. Oh my God. For me, that's insane because I'm the type of fucking... Oh my God, I keep swearing too much because I'm the type of person where if I'm getting like a B or something, I'm like, oh my God, that was so bad. So I get like a D. I'm like, holy crap. And the thing is like, it's not even like I went into the test being like, oh, I might get a D. It's like I came back and then I got a D and I was like, I got a D? Like, are you serious? Oh my God. And that's when I was like, something is just not clicking here. And I think I dropped that class and like maybe switched it out with a different class and then retook it later. And then for some reason, when I took it later, it was totally fine. ? But like, you can always try again. And I didn't let that impact my self-worth. Okay. Don't let failures impact your self-worth. It just is adding a different trajectory to your life. And you're always going to end up where you're meant to be. And making mistakes is always going to help you learn. It's not like coming at you. Don't let yourself be a victim, I guess. Keep pushing forwards. At least when it comes to like stuff like school or like if you want to do like TikTok or something, you know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I'm going for here. But yeah, like just keep pushing on. Anyways, gotta sit up right now. Guys, I've been really trying to have better posture recently and be more aware of my posture because I'd be like, I literally could be like this, neck out. And then Andrew will be like, slap. And then I'm like, oh, what was I doing? Let me slightly pivot topics. I guess not really pivot topics because we were just talking about this, but I want to talk about physics because I think I'm just like on my physics mindset right now because while everyone has been gone, I've been watching more YouTube videos because I low-key have more time on my hands and I'm like, what do I listen to? What podcast do I listen to? Or like, are there any interesting videos I can listen to? And for me, what's always the most interesting is things about outer space, okay, guys, or any type of physics is so interesting to me. That might be why I only read sci-fi novels straight up, but I just like love anything that's about space or about the universe or about even aliens, guys, okay? Or just like alien life, anything about physics, anything about quantum physics, I think is so interesting. Anything about anything I think is interesting. And again, it's something that's so hard for me to conceptualize. And like, if you really even take more than like 2 minutes being like, what was before the Big Bang? How could there be like, is there nothingness or like what's going, like literally it hurts my brain so bad, but it's also so incredibly interesting to me. And I love learning about black holes, for example, because I feel like specifically with black holes, that's kind of where a lot of like the theory or just where more theories are coming out of the study of black holes and things like that. So just like listening to people talk about those things is so interesting to me. I've been watching a lot of videos of like Brian Cox, Dr. Brian Cox, has amazing, he's just like so good at talking about physics in like an understandable way for literally just like anyone I feel like to listen to. So yeah, I'm pretty much on my physics wave. And I'm like, wow, you can really just think about how vast the universe is, how rare or not rare it is to be a sentient creature and be alive on a planet that has all of the amazing conditions to have sentient life on it and to have civilization. Like the chances of that is crazy, and it puts things into perspective, obviously, because it's like, wow, I'm alive. And then it's like, what even is sentience? Can a computer have a conscience, bro? I don't know. What is a conscience? How can I even feel that? Like what even is a feeling? Like there's literally so many questions, and it's actually crazy because I feel like we know so little to a certain extent about space, but even things on Earth, we don't know that much about. We don't know that much about the ocean. We don't know really much about the human brain even. Like it's so crazy. And I wonder if some of the answers are like, especially with like the brain and like consciousness, I wonder if there's some like entanglement there. Right? So I love listening to videos about that. And it's also very educational, and it low-key makes me want to go back to school because I'm like, wow, that's literally so interesting. I wish I could learn more, and I wish I could really hone in, like me being like, I randomly want to hone in on some of these topics in a higher education type of way. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back to school, guys, and add one more thing on my plate. I just like to learn about random shit. So that's kind of been my thing. So that's my recommendation to you guys is if you are interested in stuff like that, just start watching videos about the universe. Like it's so incredibly interesting. And sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe this is running in my family low key. One of, or my great uncle was a physicist. Okay, period. So he actually passed away recently in 2024. So rest in peace. And I feel like when I was younger, I really did not like know at all what his job is, but like he was really in it. He was a particle physicist, or he did particle physics, and he did a lot of like research specifically with quarks. I think the B quark. So like he was in it. Maybe genetically, me when I'm like, yeah, genetically, that's why I like physics as well, is because of him probably. Since, yes, we are blood related. His name is Edward Thorndike, so it's on my grandma's side, my grandma's brother. Yeah, he was legitness. So that's pretty fire. And I'm sure he's watching over me now of watching these YouTube videos like, yes, girl, learn about the universe. So that's what I'm doing. But it's just like so interesting. Life is so interesting. And the way that like things come down to like mathematics and like particles and waves. And it's literally so crazy how big things are on like a macular scale of the universe, but also how small, like particle wise, like how freaking small. Like we have cells in our bodies, and then like within the cells there are particles. But like that's freaking crazy. My brain still has trouble to this day, like even imagining a particle, I guess. Like, it's just so wild, guys. Maybe I'm going crazy also because it is now 2:25 a.m. Oh my God, I have to go do hot yoga in the morning. I need to go to sleep. Oh my God, I spent too much time talking about physics and now I'm going to be tired at my hot yoga class. Oh my God, guys. Okay, anyways, well, I guess that's kind of my favorite of the week is any and all physics videos on YouTube. Highly recommend. Life update wise, I guess I just kind of was talking about me doing my job, trying to balance things. I really thought like when I started Nami, maybe it would be like 50-50 split of like YouTube and Nami. I really feel like I am doing 80%, maybe 90% Nami, 10% YouTube, and somehow still managing to like try to do weekly uploads, posting on TikTok, doing Nami on top of it. But it's actually insane the amount of work that goes into Nami, especially because I'm right now prepping for a pop-up that by the time this goes up, the pop-up will have already happened. But we're doing a pop-up with Turtle with Hat. Izzy and Emma, my literal favorite TikTokers, they are so freaking funny. Oh my God, if you guys know them, then you know the vibe. They're literally so funny. And we're doing a Nami pop-up with them, like totally co-branded Turtle with Hat and Nami. And we're doing free matchas, like photo ops, like free stickers, lots of just cute stuff just for the community as well. So amazing community moment there. And my message to everybody that is listening right now is to, 1, believe in yourself. 2, prioritize your education. Education is so important and we are so lucky. If you're watching this and you're able to have an education, then like, you know, that's so amazing and so absolutely important. So don't take that for granted because there are people out there that obviously don't have access to education, and to be able to go to college in itself is like literally such a privilege. So don't take that for granted. I feel like it's easy to be like, I'm an American, I'm going to college, whatever. I hate going to my class. I'm going to be late to my class every day. Guys, going to school is good for you. Pay attention in class. I literally sound like such a mom, like adult, but like it's good to learn things and it's good to pay attention. And that's my thing to you. Maybe this will inspire you. I know college is going to start up in like a month from now, right? Go into the next year being like, I genuinely love learning this. I'm so lucky to be here. And it will help you learn more and it'll make you go through your college career easier rather than fighting against it. You're just kind of, you know, riding the wave, right? So go with the flow, guys. Make things easier on yourself. Have a positive mindset. Makes your entire life so much easier, right? So that's my advice right there. My favorite about myself is that I feel like, you know, learn to be a CEO. We just recently hit the 1-year mark of Nami. I feel like, you know what, maybe when I first started Nami, I was like, oh, like, okay, I guess I can be the CEO. Now I feel like it's like, I am the CEO. I'm heavily and deeply involved in Nami. I'm the one that's sending the inventory orders. I'm the one that's deciding what we do or don't do. I'm the one that's deciding if we do certain collaborations and, you know, fulfilling them. I'm the one that's putting the stickers on the cups for the Turtle with Hat pop-up and organizing and having all the boxes and shit in my house. And like, it's a little bit bootstrapped right now, but I'm the one that's doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give myself that I've been working hard towards the things that I love doing. And I've been also trying my best to, you know, prioritize my social life as much as I can now, and also my relationship, and make sure that everyone's happy, and also make sure that I'm happy at the end of the day, because that's also very important, is making sure that I'm happy. So that's that for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's podcast and I guess learning a little bit more about me, what's on my mind, what's going on in my life. And it's always good to just have like a solo chat. So thanks again so much for tuning into the Beautiful Twin Sisters podcast. Hopefully I will be with Amber next week. I believe I should be. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Beautiful Twin Sister out.
All my
Beautiful twin sisters.
Sisters.